Howdy, in this video I'm going to show you a little bit easier way to take this motor mount out of a 2000 Honda Odyssey. I was able to jack the engine up and get it back in there, so I'll show you a little bit more about the things I had to remove and how it went. Alrighty, I am putting in a rear motor mount for a Honda Odyssey, 2000 Honda Odyssey. Right now I have the engine jacked up a little bit. I loosened all the motor mounts. Took that motor mount pretty much off, and I've got the engine kind of up on this back side in order to create some space in between here. Now I took off more than I needed before. I took off the other side of this bracket, which I discovered I didn't need to do. You can get the whole bracket out through this area. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but you got to take some hoses off and this and that, and I've already got the other piece back in there. But I bought this guy online from, I think, like some Geek Squad or Geek Automotives. I had the thing all the way in there, and I tried putting the screws in, and they didn't have this threaded, so I had to pull it back out again, thread it, tap it, and then put it back in. Now I'm putting it back in here, and you got to kind of weave it back in through all of this stuff back in here, and you can do it as long as you jack up, loosen up the motor mounts and jack the thing up. You can see underneath here. That's what I've done. I didn't jack it in the best place, but because on the oil pan, but I did put a piece of wood here so it wouldn't destroy everything. So that's where I'm at right now. The good news is the install, the fix is a lot easier than I made it out to be, because I took this guy out and I didn't have to. When I first got in here, I thought I had to take all this, like the exhaust and all this, and pull it down through the bottom, which it wouldn't fit unless you did take all that stuff off. And luckily I've discovered that you can take all this stuff out through the top. Well, it's a little tedious, and you kind of have to take one or two things off. There's this thing right here. I had to take this. It's just one screw. It's just a little harness thing. Take that off. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know the technical terms. I'm just a guy that knows how to do a lot of different stuff, just a do-it-yourselfer type guy. So it's a pain in the neck. But then the other thing you got to do is put it together while it's in here, because it's a two-part thing. So, but that's what I'm going to be working on next. So, I'll be adding to this video when I get a little bit farther along. But if you do this, you have to take this motor mount off. You have to take both sides off, take it all apart while you're in this space, basically, which is a pain in the neck. And then you could take the other piece out, unless you've cracked this one and you need to replace it. Then you can take it out too, and that thing is a bear to get out. So I wasted some time doing that and putting it back in, but hopefully you can avoid doing that. So all right, well, I'll just keep on going here.
Okay, so here's what I did to get this thing out. I loosened this motor mount, which is the front one, and there's these holes all the way alongside here, these motor mounts. I just loosened these all up. There's this bar here. They're all loosened all those up. And here's the rear motor mount back in there. Now I got to that bolt from up above because I took that one out. I took everything apart. But the thing is, I didn't have to take all this other pipe, the exhaust off and everything else down here. I was just able to take that off right there. I took both sides of the motor mount off. There's a heat shield I took off too. You can't really see it from here. It's right up there. You can see that bolt up there. I took that guy off because you need every inch of room to get this out. And yeah, then I pulled it out through that hole up there. You got to weave back and forth across the back of the engine and get it out of there. But it's way easier than taking all this other stuff off here. So that's what I did. I just sat down here and turned wrenches forever and finagled it out from the back. So if you're interested in doing it, great. It's easier than what other people say, but you got to take off everything that you possibly can get. Like there's this harness right here is one bolt up there. It's pretty easy to get to. I think you can see it. There you can kind of see it up there. And then you just basically weave it on out there. So I got this out too. I got that out too. I pulled it out and put it back, and I didn't have to. But you do have to take it off as from the way I took it out, because there's just too much space. So you got to take all these bolts out. There's one up there, and there's one up there. Those two you can reach from up top. The ones up there, these obviously you can get from down here. And then you got to take off these guys here. There's the mounts for underneath this thing, for the underneath part of this. You got to take those out. And yeah, just keep at it, man. You don't have to take all this other junk off. It's pretty self-explanatory, because once you get it out, you just got to weave. Once you get it unbolted, you just got to weave it out of there, and then you're good. So, good luck to you. And if you want to know more, stay tuned. I do all sorts of fun stuff.